Hello, Leo. This is your extended reading. So, as I said right at the end of the first part, that I wouldn't be surprised if the Wheel of Fortune came here in the extended. Unfortunately, it didn't come, and so we have no major arcana here in the extended, which it came as a surprise to me, but I guess, since the first part was already so full of very big energies, and it's like you're the channel of all of these big and major energies. It's like you are incredibly connected to this source of light, which is actually you, right? And so that is the reason why you're coming through as an incredible, powerful electrician slash magician, to light up your grid, to light up those around you in a sense that is extremely effective, and knowing how to change the mood, how to elevate the frequency of the room, and elevate the vibration of those around you. So here, this image of you flipping this switch and being able to turn on and off the energy as you wish, or as you feel is more suitable for how you want to express your light energy, your loving energy. And I feel like there is something about this, it's like this spiritual experience here, because there's something about taking on your spot. But I feel like this is not you taking your spot. It's almost like you are uplifting others. You are helping others to take on their places, to change their mood so that they can take care of their own lives, right? And you're doing so in a way that is so majestic and so magical and so powerful and so inspiring, that because it's like you're showing it through yourself, right? You're being the example for it. I'm going to explain better what I mean by that, because we're beginning with, a traditionally very scary card, which is the Ten of Swords. But this card was coming through in a way that I've seen it a few times before. And, this image came in the past in a few readings, but then it didn't show up again. And now it did for you, Leo. So this is coming through as an elevator, but it's like this metaphor for spiritual growth, right? For spiritual evolution. And so there's something about the way that you are conducting the energy, right? It's like the energies or the events, or because remember, you were seeing a system that maybe was about to collapse or about to fail, or people that were about to give up, or were about to let go of any sort of hope. And so you came back and you flipped this switch in a way that is so effective, is so, well, it's so hopeful, right? It's like you came in and you took the role of the one that can change the mood, the one that can change the lighting of the room. Like it's really like lighting up the room. So the way that you're doing so, the way that you're that you're correcting this energy course, right, as this electrician slash magician, is because you are not only sharing your love and sharing your light, but you're sharing your process in a sense. You're sharing how you have learned to flip the switch, to change the dynamics, right? Because in a sense, when you were entering this elevator of the Ten of Swords, when you were going through this, there are people that are going through it, and maybe they think they are alone because maybe they felt like they were left behind, right? And so you're coming in and you're saying, no, 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 you're not alone. This is not something uncommon for people that are going through, spiritual evolution or spiritual awakening. There is a lot of pressure and I want to say it's like maybe fear of what is going to be, when you go through these sort of things. But with the Two of Pentacles, this is the buttons outside of the elevator, and this is where it's connected to the Judgment. Because if this was coming through as a switch, or the on and off buttons, right, that you can choose if you would turn on or turn off the light, right? And for some reason in this grid, or in the lives of the people that are connected to you, it's like you saw that the flip was turned off, right? For the light, for the joy, for the fun, for the laughter, right? So it's like just having to do that little change, and everything would change for those people, and to illuminate that grid. And so it's almost like when you do so, you're telling them, you're sharing them your story, you're sharing them. It's like you're bringing them into the room with you. It's like you are inviting them into this elevator, right? By telling this story, by sharing with them how it went down for you when you went through this awakening, in a sense. Because here, before you entered this elevator, right, this it's like this accelerator of awakening or of spiritual development. It's like you had the choice, right? Because of the buttons that were outside, it's like you had the choice to turn on or off your light. And I feel like you stood there, right, with the Five of Pentacles. You stood there analyzing what were the implications, or because Pentacles, right, the Two and the Five of Pentacles. And often I see the Five of Pentacles as your spot, your place, where you're supposed to go, right? It's like this axe on a map that marks a specific place, a specific location, or a specific individuality, or a specific role that you're supposed to take over, right? That has your name on it, in a sense. But the difference about, this very fluid, very ethereal kind of elevator, right, being the spiritual energy, and these two denser energies, right, being the Pentacles, it's like before you step into the elevator, you are on a solid ground where you can stay as long as you want, right? It's like there is nobody rushing you into this elevator. There is nobody rushing you. And this is the story, remember, Leo, this is the story that you are telling the others in your life. And this is why it is so inspirational, because you're sharing the love by sharing your story, and maybe how you came to the point of being so authentic, so you, so strong, so powerful, right? Like you are now. And so you finding yourself here, right? Long ago, perhaps, or maybe not so long ago, but when you were going through this awakening phase, this Five of Pentacles showed you, in a sense, that staying there for as long as you thought was necessary was something appropriate, right? There was no rush in going inside the elevator. It's like the elevator would not, you would not miss your ride, in a sense. It's like you would have to really pay attention to the button that you would choose, right? And now I'm seeing this image of, when you are outside of an elevator, you can choose whether you want to go up or down. And I'm not seeing necessarily like, some sort of association with, like, if you want to go up, then you're having this ascension. If you press this lower button, then you're going to descend, or you're going to go, you know, to hell or whatever. It's not that. It's like you understand that this is just like switching on or off the amount of light in which you're going to experience this ride, right? Because it's like the elevator is there. It is inevitable. It's like at one point or another, you are going to step in, right? And, you know, if you press the off button, you know, on the switch, it's like you would experience the Ten of Swords as a traditional Ten of Swords, as something that is cruel, or something that is, you know, a tragedy or a drama, or, you know, something that is very intense and maybe very potentially very negative for you, leaving trauma and etc. But if you turn this switch onto, you know, bring some light, it's like you don't have to experience the negativity, right? The lower vibration of the Ten of Swords. It's like you can experience the more ethereal kind of evolution, right? It's like this kind of being upgraded, right? Being fast upgraded. So it's kind of, it requires a sense of adaptation, right? But you can choose from when you are standing outside of it, you know, before you stand in, before you go inside the elevator, you can choose whether you want the light to be turned on or off, right? And so, okay, now I'm just receiving something. The reason why this magician in the first part came in with such knowledge, right, and such ability to manipulate things is, and it's, you know, starting to be explained here now in the extended, and I'm going to show you why through this Four of Cups. But it's because you have paid attention. It's like you allow yourself to stay in this position of just learning, and it's like studying these buttons, studying how they could affect your experience, your awakening experience. And that gave you a lot of wisdom, but it's like an active wisdom, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to learn so that I can get wise. It's like, how can I do this better? It's like it's active, right? How can I help others? How can I make myself go through this process and not feel depleted, right? So this Four of Cups is now, well, it came with the message of malleable walls. So these walls, right, if we think of a box, or, you know, a glass box, if you will, or, you know, a harsh box, like a solid box, you know, and instead, you know, this is the traditional, perhaps the 3D version of an elevator that we would think of. But with the Four of Cups, I almost said Four of Swords because it's here also, but the Four of Cups, it's like it's dissolving the solidity or the rigidity of those walls, of the walls of this elevator. It's like, so there is nothing that is impenetrable, right? There is nothing that you cannot manipulate. Even if, you know, this path is, well, this is the only elevator that you could get, right? At least in this lifetime, let's say. But you could, by switching this light on or off, it's like you can, what is the word? It's like you can tailor the experience so that it's not negative, so that it's more positive, right, than what it could be. And so more than that, it's like you can understand the making of this experience, right, or making of these walls, because staying there long enough to understand the system, to understand how this works, to understand how you can flip the switch so it's working to your favor and not, you know, in detriment of your own well-being and your own growth, I want to say. It's like you can manipulate the quality of the elevator, the quality of the room, the quality of this road, right? This journey, this awakening journey. And remember when I said the Four of Swords was here too? So we have it here, and in between these two fours, we have the Knight of Cups. And so this Knight came through with the word courage. So yes, in a sense, you understanding that the walls of this elevator are malleable, that you can shape them, and especially you can shape them with your feelings, but also your thoughts, and you can make them a place of recharging. This is what these two cards are talking about. It's like, by changing your mood, you can change the room, right? And this is all teaching you, right? This experience has taught you a lot. And that is the reason why you showed up in the first part extremely powerful, but also knowledgeable. It's like you have become an expert in how you can shape the mood, how you can shape the energy, how you can shape the environment, right? How you can shape an experience. It's like the same experience. It's only it changes based on how you feel about it, how you think about it, how you consider it, like a more it's not like a, well, it's not like a verdict that you have no other choice, right? It's not something that is set in stone. It's something that is changeable, right? It is malleable. Both of these cards, right? It's like water and air. Both of these two elements are, you know, you can move them, especially when you have this type of it's more than just the knowledge, right? Because you are analyzing and maybe experimenting because you have done so with yourself when you were, you know, going into this experience, when you were going inside the elevator, Leo. But it's like there is a magical quality about you that sees an opportunity, well, sees, like, you know, seeing the opportunity, but you seize the moment, right? It's like you enjoy it, you are making the most of it. And this is what this Knight of Cups is talking about. It's like, it's almost like you're seeing it as an opportunity to improve yourself, right? It's like this knight going on a mission, and your mission is to crack how you can understand these walls, how you can understand this road, this journey, this experience, this moment of your life. And so, and this is all you telling them, right? So you are sharing this knowledge with them, and you are telling them, it's like you're showing them how you had to be brave, you had to be courageous, you had to be bold, right? It came through also here. You had to be bold to step into this position, to, you know, take this leap and allow this flip to change, allow this switch to be going in another direction, right? That wasn't. And so this, you know, the other thing that I want to mention about the Four of Swords that came up after the Four of Cups was about a place to recharge. So even in working with the energies, in exposing yourself to the point that you know that you're going to face things that could be challenging, right? And depends on how you feel, how you interpret, how you understand what is going on, how you see what is going on in front of you. It's like you are shaping it also. But depending on the situation, right? If it's a completely new thing and you're just learning how to shape this thing, it could be draining, right? Or it could be at least well, sometimes if you're going through something for the first time and you don't know exactly what is the right way, maybe you're going to do things the harder way, or maybe you're going to do things in a more difficult kind of way. And so this is a possibility here too, right? But you are taking the risk because it's like you trust in your heart, and you trust that how you feel is going to make things better, because this is the reason why you're there, to improve yourself, and therefore you're improving your space, right? Whatever is the environment that you're in, this elevator, right? And so even when you are taking this risk, even when you are experimenting with shaping something and changing how you feel, to change the mood, change the atmosphere of the room, it can be tiresome, right? And so this Four of Swords was coming through as, don't worry, Leo, even when you are just learning something, right? Or just experimenting with how you manipulate energies, this is also a place where you can take a moment and rest. This is also like a space in which you are protected in a sense from harm, right? It's like, because you are exposing yourself, you are entering a space that you're going to face challenges, but because you're being bold and brave, it's like also the moments of recharging and reconnection are given to you, are available to you within the same space, right? And this is all because you are shaping your mind, you're shaping your thoughts, you're shaping your feelings, right? And so these moments are also provided for you. It's like you don't have to exit the room, or you don't have to exit the elevator. You don't have to run away from essentially what you're dealing with. It's like you're going to be given like a truce. Is that like a momentarily truce? I hope that's the word. So ending here with the Six of Swords, it's interesting because the Cancer reading yesterday ended up with the same card, the Six of Swords. So I wonder if there is like a point of connection where, Cancer and Leo meet at the same point, in a sense, or, even if you are Leo uplifting a Cancer, right? And they're the ones where you want to, well, that is interesting because for Cancer, in the extended for them began with the King of Wands, right? A king of fire, a king of light. And maybe we are talking about a Leo that is coming for Cancer. And maybe, this is the continuation or an explanation of, what happens from the other side. So yeah, maybe if you're interested in the Cancer reading, it could be interesting for you. So, but I feel like there is something that is naturally, it's almost like sharing knowledge, right? Because to me, the number 6 has a lot to do with sharing and, there's a lot of finding harmony within an exchange, within some sort of a transaction, right? A give and take. And since you are giving so freely, I feel like it's like maybe you don't expect to ever receive anything in return, but maybe you are, it's almost like maybe you too are receiving, and it's not receiving, maybe you are receiving gratitude, that is one thing, but I feel like it's more like whatever you're receiving in return, Leo, that is not your main goal or your concern, but is a result of what you're sharing, right? Of what you're doing so bravely, but also so beautifully, and so kindly also, is that you are also, it's almost like your evolution is not stagnant because you have reached this point of enlightenment or, knowledge and self-awareness. It's like you continue to shine and expand because you're continue on this road, right? It's like whenever, you decided to step into this elevator, it's like maybe you made a promise to yourself, maybe an unconscious promise, that you would help others if they were going through similar things that like you were at the time. And this is what you're doing, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to, you know, remove yourself from the elevator. It's like you are still in the elevator, right? There is no going out this elevator once you stepped in. There is no, you know, forgetting about your spiritual evolution path once you're in it, right? It's like once you entered those doors, it's like that's the reason maybe why you thought longer and hard before you took the plunge and entered, right? But since I feel like you have, it's like you know that this is an ongoing ascension, right? And this is what is talking about here. It's like if you know that the walls are shapeable, are malleable, it's like you know that you're never stuck, you're never stagnant, you are always moving. The only difference is that the movement that you are feeling is now mutual. It's like it's not mutual, it's like it's now shareable, right? It's like now you're lighting up the entire system, so you feel like you're not alone. And I don't feel like that was your concern also in the beginning. Maybe this is a concern for others that you are sharing this story with. And so it's beautiful because I feel like you are, it's like you are in a continuous evolution path, right? But it can be pleasurable, it can be fun, it can be easy, it can be serene, it can be peaceful, it can be you know, with people that you love joining you, right? Because the harmony it doesn't have to be, you know, just for one person. It can be, you know, exchanged with others. So that's so gorgeous, Leo. Let's see what the astrological runes want to add as a final guidance for you. Okay, so, oops. We have Pisces. Yeah, we have a water sign. So I'm just thinking about the Cancer reading yesterday because the rune that came through for them was Scorpio, another water sign. So here's the third water sign, right? We're talking about Cancer, which is a water sign. Then Scorpio was the rune that came for them, which is another water sign. And now Pisces, the third water sign. And it's interesting to you because you being a fire sign, it's like maybe the water could put off this fire. And that is so gorgeous because it's again talking about this switch, right? It's like you decide what can turn you on or what can turn you off. And so essentially, because you came wanting to share the love, right? It's like you have love to share. This is not something that can be turned off for you, right? The water is not turning off your light. It's quite the contrary. It's like it's the thing that is igniting you. And because you know that it's like you have studied enough from the outside in, right, before going into this ascension path. And you know, Pisces being not only a water sign that is connected to all of the love that we're seeing, but also it's extremely transcendental is what I'm hearing, but very spiritual, right? Pisces is one of the most spiritual signs of the zodiac. And so this more spiritual tone that is here in the extended, I feel like is very, very connected to this final guidance. It's like you diving deep into this path whenever you made that decision, right? Before you took this plunge, it's like maybe you were studying it from a more practical and a more human limited kind of way, but nevertheless, it's like you knew that you that was your place, right? You knew that was your place. And so diving into this path, right? I feel like saying was the best decision for you. And I know this can be controversial because you know what is the best for you, Leo, but I feel like you have become such an incredible, knowledgeable electrician slash magician that not only you are ascending, but you are helping others ascend too. And that is the compassion that I was talking about, right? Pisces is so compassionate. It's like it's talking about this universal love and sharing the love without thinking that you are going to be drained, or without, it's like just giving. So I feel like saying, like, you are in the right path, Leo, and you are helping others, and you're helping yourself by doing so. So this is so beautiful. I feel like this is extremely compassionate, but there's another word. Well, what I'm hearing right now is like forgiving. It's very honorable of you, Leo, I want to say. So I hope this was insightful to you and inspiring to you, so that you can inspire others too. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.